Bill Clinton giving his party the cold, hard truth on why they lost in such a humiliating fashion. And to borrow a phrase from his successful 92 campaign, it's the economy, stupid.
We can't keep asserting that things are great in the economy. In some senses, they are great, but it's pretty hard if you're out there in the middle of the country and you're working hard and you've got 2 or 3 kids and you have to watch every penny you make. There's a lot of identity conflicts racing through our society now and through our world. And these culture wars topics still have enormous salience. And we Democrats have to learn to talk to people.
And Bill Clinton, ever the expert on women, claims America's ready for a female president, but there's a catch.
Yep.
I think it would probably be easier for a conservative Republican woman to win
Than a Democrat woman.
because, I mean, that's what Maggie Thatcher did. But I still think we'll have a female president pretty soon.
He didn't really explain why. He just said Margaret Thatcher. Why do you think Bill Clinton doesn't think we're going to have a female Democrat president?
I think because he realizes where the country is right now, because he saw what happened in this election. He knows that the country is more right than it was when he was president. And Maggie Thatcher was a tough, straight-talking conservative woman, friend, obviously, if you remember, of Ronald Reagan. And, I just think the conservative women don't focus on nonsense. I think they're just smarter. In your face, Mark Cuban, okay? But even more than that, I think that when he was stumping for Kamala Clinton, he said things. Now, you could say he slipped because he's older, but what he said was basically, they weren't vetting people, which is why Laken Riley was killed. He basically said that the economy was better under Trump, recognizing that it wasn't that good under Biden and Harris. And, he was, I think he was very straightforward. And he knew when he was president, he had to change things, that he listened, that the Democrats today are not listening. And, I got to give him credit. I think he's right. I think the first woman president will be a conservative.
What do you think, Greg?
I think what he was saying is kind of like what the judge said. The gender thing is not important. It's about the other part that describes it, conservative. If anybody liberal is right now is in trouble because they went too far left. But I like what he said when he said we need to talk to people. Because I think he realizes, and it's probably from being among Democrats and younger ones, really young ones, that they talk at people or they're talking at each other. They've lacked the persuasive skills. And they alienate people. They drive them away, perhaps because maybe their ideas aren't good. We know that, but they're also they're not being taught how to win friends and influence people. Instead, they're finding value in alienating and losing friends. There's a reason why identity politics failed. It wasn't about other people. It was about you and the secret to success in life. And anybody who's read Win Friends and Influence People, you win by asking about other people, what's interesting in their lives. People love it when you ask them about their lives. They're not interested in your pronouns. They're not interested in your identity, and that cuts people off. The other thing is Dems love to say, we need to have a conversation, but that's usually to get out of the current one. The kryptonite has always been a follow-up question. Once they learn how to deal with a follow-up question, they'll do a lot better. But the issues don't allow that.
I've noticed that, after reading that book, women especially like it when you ask them about themselves. It gives you a great opportunity to just kind of sit back and just think about other things. Once in a while, there's a moment, and then you just ask them another question.
Ask her if she agrees with you.
Do you agree?
Do you like this? Did you say something, Jesse? There's one thing women don't like is they don't like you trying to talk over their heads or talk down to them, whatever it is.
What do you mean by talking over their heads?
Well,
What
Bill
does that
Clinton
mean?
said that Democrats need to stop asserting that the economy is great. They did it all the way through the election cycle, and it killed them.
Right.
There was a moment shortly before Election Day when Joe Scarborough in his morning show said, I couldn't believe it. My buddy called and said, butter's $3 at the store. And his wife taps him and was like, Joe, it's like $7. You know, look, and that women know the price of food. They do most of the grocery shopping. I know a lot of men do too, and they don't appreciate people keep telling them the economy's great when prices are up 20, 25%. This was one of the biggest problems leading up to Election Day. It's the economy, stupid. And so when they kept telling everybody everything was great, women at home were going, wait, what? I just got back from the grocery store and my normal $100 grocery thing was $100 and whatever. What's 20% more?
You're on FBN. I don't know.
$120.
All this wisdom from Slick Willie, where was this a year ago, 2 years ago, when everybody was really dealing with these high prices?
Well, the problem is that Bill Clinton, because he's a bit of a walking Me Too violation, gets ignored by a lot of people. And frankly, he had the best advice in 2016 for Hillary's team, and they didn't take it. And he had the best advice for Kamala's team, and they didn't take it. So in 2016, he was like, Hillary hasn't been to Wisconsin, guys. We need to win Wisconsin. We lose. This time around, he went to the team, so says the autopsy reporting after the election, and he said, the Charlemagne ad is resonating with people. We have to say something. And I also pointed out that it wasn't just an ad about trans people, it was an economic ad, because the argument was, we'll spend money on this special interest group, but we will not spend money on you, the general American taxpayer. And they didn't want to say anything about it. And if we live in an endless cycle of recycling people that have run past campaigns, and listen, what the Obama team was able to pull off is incredible. I think David Plouffe and Stephanie Cutter are amazing. But why wouldn't you listen to a guy who won 2 elections, who is beloved by people? Have you watched him walk a rope line? I mean, people are beside themselves that they're so excited to meet him and to get to spend time with him. And he has decent advice.
Well, you said the reason why is because he was Me Too'd.
Well, he wasn't Me Too.
Well, you just said people don't listen to him because he was Me Too'd. Maybe the lesson, Jessica, is even people that are Me Too'd deserve to be listened to.
Yeah.
Equal rights
Me
for
too.
Me Tooers.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm glad we've had that talk.
Wow.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.